So this is our storyboard for our AS Media thriller opening. As you can see, we've laid it out in the boxes and we're just going to go through and explain the images that go with the writing, and we'll also add photos in our blogs as well of the storyboard so you can see closer up in more detail. So our props will be a laptop, phone and mirror within the first scene. It will start off by being in a bedroom, and we'll start off by the door, and we'll do a dolly shot and a long shot, and we'll pan into the room, and there'll be diegetic sound playing in the background. It'll be quite girly music. The camera will walk round from behind the back of the bed by the door round to the front, as though you're looking at the girl who is laying on the bed. She'll be on her phone, texting a boy, and this will then cut to an over-the-shoulder shot of the phone in her hand. One camera will be near her, so it will show a close-up of her then laptop on the phone, on the desk, which she'll be talking to the boy on, and she'll be having a conversation with him about him coming round her house because she's got a free house. There'll also be an extreme close-up of the phone where she will then ring her friend. The next close-up will be of her face where she'll be laughing at the boyfriend's reply. And then it'll be an extreme close-up of the caller ID on her phone, that she's on the phone to her best friend. The next shot will cut to a close-up of her answering the phone, and the phone will then be near her face, so it will be a close-up of just her face, and she'll be talking to her friend about the boyfriend coming over later that day. The next shot will be a mid-shot, be outside her window, so it will look like someone's looking in, and it will show her getting off the bed and walking towards the mirror. So the camera will be outside the window, so it's almost like a point of view shot of someone that's being creepy and watching her, and sort of this will foreshadow what is going to happen later on in regard to an intruder. There will be then a close-up shot of her looking at herself in the mirror. There will be diegetic sound because she'll then hear a noise. The noise will be shown in the next shot as it cuts to the antagonist rattling the door handle. It's be an extreme close-up of just the door handle and the hand. It would be like rattling the door handle, so that will be the diegetic sound that she will hear.
The shot will be an extreme close-up of the girl's face for about 2 seconds to show her fear because she can hear the noises, and then it will be an extreme long shot of her looking down the hallway, and the hallway will be very dark and dingy, and then it will be extreme close-up with the laptop with the messages from the boyfriend, saying like, "Are you here?" And then he's like, "No, I can't come till later," so which makes her like question who's actually downstairs, which means her fear like makes it scarier. And then the next shot is extreme close-up of the door rattling with non-diegetic music, which is quite creepy. And then the door will open slowly with no music, and the music will just be silent. And then it will go to the door opens, and then the camera will pan up from the body, from the toes to the head, so you can see the mask. It's like a build up to see the scary part, and then it will be an extreme close-up of the victim's face to show the fear, and then she'll say something like, "He's in my house," or "Someone's broken," and then it will be an extreme close-up of her face when she's discussing with her friend where she should hide with non-diegetic sounds. And then there will be a long shot from the banister to see the kitchen, and the camera moves back upstairs as if the audience is viewing from the victim's eye.
After the victim begins to run upstairs, obviously, as Libby said, we'll use the camera to make it look like it's her eyes running up the stairs, and then we'll do a close-up shot of the intruder's mask slash face, and we'll only do this for like a split second because we want to show that he's now aware that there is definitely someone present in the house, and like he is after her. And the mask obviously makes it creepier, and we've chosen a mask that is like it's transparent and it has like blood on it and things like that, so it just looks really creepy. And we also for our intruder, we're either going to use one of our friends or we're going to use Libby. And because Libby wears makeup and everything and she has quite a feminine face, we thought that we would use the mask to sort of make her look more creepy and scary. Then we're going to do an extreme close-up of the intruder's feet moving towards the house. So we'll put the camera on the floor and he'll be standing in front of the camera, and then the audience will just see him starting to walk to like almost towards the camera to make it look like he's now searching for her in the house. Then we're going to cut to a mid-shot, and all of this will have non-diegetic music in the background, which will really be like tense, like it's all happening so fast. Then we're going to switch to a mid-shot from inside of the girl's wardrobe to show that she's now back in the safety of her room and she's trying to find something to escape. So when she was discussing with her friend beforehand about where to go, her friend said, why don't you try to get out of the window, or just pretend to. So she gets to the wardrobe and she opens it quite abruptly, so we're going to put it inside of it. She's going to open it like that and like start rummaging through, and as she's rummaging through we're going to have another close-up of the intruder's shot of the intruder, then looking at the sheet, and he grabs it. It's going to be a point of view shot from his own eyes, so it's going to make the audience feel as if like they've just discovered the sheet as well. Then he's going to walk back into the house, which is probably going to be a long shot or maybe a mid-shot, to show that he is now back in there. Then we're going to have a close-up shot of the girl, the victim, laying underneath her bed to show that she's still within the house. So this sort of brings like a fear factor to the audience, because they then know that she hasn't escaped when they originally thought that she did down the sheet. After that, she's still on the phone. We're going to have an over-the-shoulder shot of the antagonist, and we're gonna make it seem as if the victim on the phone has accidentally put her phone on speakerphone, and then her friend says, like, is he gone, or something like that, or are you safe now? And he's gonna hear it from downstairs, and then we're gonna start the music again, and he's gonna like turn his head to look like up the stairs, because he now knows that she's still within the house. Then we're gonna have the victim still laying underneath the bed. We're gonna pan from the side of the from the empty side of the bed, because she's not there. She's on like the other side, like towards the wall. So we're gonna pan from the empty bit all the way to her, to show that she's still there, like where she is and things like that, and she's scared. And then we're gonna have a close up of her face, saying, "I think he's gone." And then after that, we're going to have an extreme close-up, or just a close-up of her being dragged out from under the bed. We just want it from the point of view of like looking at her face. So, and then it'll be like a cliffhanger.